Hey guys, Martin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a proper look at the new INT free-to-play Trunks. I've got him now fully link leveled, so Rainbow Max links, and we're going to check him out here and see what he can do on the physical trio team, which is one of the teams he gets a 200% leader skill from. He's on a few 200% leads, so that gives him a little bit of versatility, but you'll see from his passive that he does kind of want to be run with certain allies. So he does have a Hybrid Saiyan's lead, 50%, obviously, because he's a free-to-play unit before Easy A. Who knows whether he'll Easy A in this celebration or not. They did specifically tell us that the Paragus wouldn't, but obviously this guy's not been mentioned at all. So maybe he will by the end of the celebration, right? The free-to-play Trunks that came out for last Worldwide did Easy A by the end, so who knows. But his super attack, the Burning Breaker, greatly raised defense for 3 turns, does supreme damage to the enemy, raises allies defense by 30% for 1 turn. So the 3-turn raise is good. It means when he comes back on his next appearance, he's going to still have the defense raised from the previous turn, and then he raises allies defense. So if he's in slot 1, he gives a buff to the rest of the rotation. Now his passive, pretty long. Key 2, attack and defense 140%, additional attack 140%, and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super when there's another Hybrid Saiyan ally in the same turn. Then he gives Hybrid Saiyan allies 1 key and 25% attack and defense. He gives key 1, attack and defense 25% for allies whose name includes Gohan Teen or Goten Kid within the character's attacking turn for 4 turns from the entry turn. So obviously this guy was designed with the new Gohan in mind, because when putting the team together, there's not really a lot of like good Gohan team units, especially on we're running the Movie Heroes team. So I'm actually using the Go Bros, so he is giving them 2 key and 50% attack and defense. He gets an additional 40% defense when receiving an attack. He has a high chance to dodge. Then he gets an additional 20% dodge chance as the first attacker in the turn, so 70% dodge in slot 1. Additional 140 attack temporarily and a temporary high chance of performing a crit upon the character's next attack after evading an attack. So if he dodges in slot 1, he gets an attack buff and then built-in crit chance. He gets an additional chance to dodge 20%, up to 20% within a turn within the next attacking turn each time the character evades 5 or more attacks. So when he dodges 5 attacks, in the next turn he has an extra 20%. And it can only stack once. I think that's why they've put the up to 20% within a turn. So that means if he dodges 5 times, or once he's dodged 5 times, well, it does say, let me see, let me recheck this. Evading an attack was additional attack, 20% within a turn, win the next attack, every time the character evades 5 or more. So yeah, it's 5 or more cumulative. The 5 dodges don't have to be in one turn. But once he's dodged the 5th time, on the next turn he gets an extra 20% chance to dodge, which means if he's in slot 1, he'll have a 90% chance to dodge. And then his active skill can be activated after he's dodged 5 times. It gives him 40% defense, targets all the attacks onto him, and gives Hybrid Saiyan allies 4 key for 1 turn. So obviously that means if you dodge 5 times, and then the next turn you have that active skill active, he's also got that extra dodge chance, right? So that means that on that next turn, he's going to have 90% dodge and target all the attacks onto him. Now, it's interesting for a just farmable free-to-play unit. Obviously, Beerus was the anniversary one, so he's kind of different, but a farmable free-to-play... Nice. He just instantly didn't dodge and then died. Well, there you go. Okay, well... kind of funny that that would happen, considering I was literally just talking about how a free-to-play unit having a target ability. I was going to talk about the fact that him having a target ability is interesting because unlike somebody like Physical Gogeta, he doesn't get 100% chance to dodge when you use the target ability. So being in slot 1, he will have had to have dodged 5 times to get the active skill active anyway. So being in slot 1, he has 70% chance to dodge. You got 5 dodges, so you can use the active skill, but that also means he has the extra 20% chance to dodge. So he's going to have 90% chance to dodge in slot 1, and then you use the active skill, which is a target ability. There's going to be situations, if you're fighting like a tough boss, where you use that ability and he doesn't dodge the super, and then you just get killed. So, I mean, he's dodged 2 out of 4 attacks in slot 1 with a 70% chance to dodge. And we've got type advantage and we took damage. So the crazy thing is, when I did the Videl showcase, which I think I probably will have put up first, I recorded the Videl showcase on stream earlier, and I was talking about how she's pretty good, but not, you know, as a free-to-play unit, not necessarily a character that is going to be a must-run on your movie heroes teams if you have some of these stronger summonable characters. And I had a bunch of people telling me on the stream, it was just like, oh, well, you know, the Int Trunks is much better, like, he's super good. So far, my initial impression of him is not very good, considering Videl basically dodged everything, and she starts off with a lower dodge chance. Bear in mind as well, by the way, that my hidden potential build for this guy, he has 30 dodge. So not only does he have a 70% dodge chance in slot 1, if that fails, he has a separate 30% chance to dodge as well. And out of 4 attacks in slot 1 on that first turn, he only dodged 2 of them. So it was like a 50% dodge rate, considering he has a 70% and then a follow-up 30. I would say that that's actually not that good. But hey, he does get the greatly raised defense, and it is for 3 turns. So when he comes back on the next rotation, we will see he will have higher defense because he keeps the 50% raise from the previous turn. I want to float off the Go Bros because I want them to be the slot 2 next to Trunks. So we'll go ahead and do this. But yeah, honestly, this is one of those showcases. I quit out a couple of times because I wanted to get a good starting rotation. This could end up being one of those showcases where we don't actually finish what is technically the showcase, because Trunks is going to get me killed multiple times and I'm going to run out of attempts on the stage, which is a hilarious thing to think about when good old limited attempts per day events, right? But let's see. So we're going to get the Bulma support here as well. So we've got 269k start of turn, Golden Warrior and Super Saiyan active with Future Gohan. So we can do this. You don't really need any key anyway, so I'm just going to grab this for you, and then we'll grab these for Bulma. So bit of extra defense here in slot 1. Immediately doesn't dodge an attack and takes 90k. And now he's got his 3rd dodge. So that means we can't actually even get to the active skill condition on this turn, because he's only going to take 1 more attack here. Getting the additional super does help, because obviously that gives him the another greatly raised defense. And he didn't dodge again. Bro is actually fraudulent. Yeah, sorry, there's no way you're telling me that he's better than the Videl. I mean, I guess he has a bit more utility and like splashability onto other teams because he's a Trunks, so he's a hybrid Saiyan with Super Saiyan links and stuff like that, but man, he is definitely not impressing me so far. I mean, given the attacks that we've taken and the number of times he's been hit by those attacks, it doesn't really exactly fill me with confidence for the active skill turn. If we can even get the active skill turn, because we have to dodge 5 times, and so far we've been incapable of doing that. So I guess we'll see how this plays out here. Bulma doesn't have a lot of damage reduction built up yet, so okay, never mind. She still takes double-digit damage, so I guess that's fine. I don't know how I've ended up with these guys off rotation, so we are going to see a crazy amount of support for Trunks on the next turn, because we are going to have the double physical trio support active. But yeah, so far I would definitely say not really impressed with this unit at all. It's crazy because his passive is so long as well. Like, we talked about how long Broly's passive is. I think it's the longest in the game now, right? But for a free-to-play unit, this guy has an incredibly long passive. And yeah, like, we had a hybrid Saiyan on the rotation with him, Future Gohan, so it's not like we're missing out on his buffs or his team build or anything. He gives extra support to Goten and the Team Gohan, but only for the first couple of turns. So it'll be good for like big burst damage from the new Gohan. But the thing is, it's very similar to what I was saying with Videl, with the restrictions in the kit, where if you run him on the team but you don't run him in slot 1, he's still giving a little bit of support, but then he's not getting as much dodge. And so then the chances are he's more likely to get caught by a bunch of the attacks that then go off in slot 3. And so overall, he's still going to be a bit of a liability for the team, because, you know, the dodge, 50% chance to dodge, it's not something we would necessarily rely on against these tough bosses. Now, obviously, if he's in slot 3, he does get to super first, but even just greatly raising defense, when your start of turn defense is so low, it's not going to be that great. And if you float him off, his super attack effect stack is only for 3 turns. So if he stays on rotation, when he comes back onto the next turn, he has the defense up from the previous one. If you float him off, it won't be until more than 3 turns have passed, and then he comes back, and then he'll have lost all that extra defense. So he is a unit that is entirely designed and basically only really good to be run in slot 1, but doesn't really have like the stats to back it up. 70% chance to dodge should be good enough, like most of the time, right? But I think, was that 4? Have we got 4 dodges total now? Obviously, he also needs to dodge the attack in slot 1 in order to get the actual attack buff and then crit chance, which is why I gave mine all dodge and then a little bit of additional, because as long as he dodges an attack in slot 1, he has a 50% chance to crit as it is anyway. But yeah, I think we finally got the actual, like, 5 dodges total. So we should be able to actually see the active skill now. But yeah, I have to say, overall, so far, definitely not impressed. A unit that's got 70% chance to dodge, but is starting turn 1 at 140k defense. I mean, almost all difficult events in the game currently, like if he's not dodging, he's going to be taking significant damage even from their normal attacks. And as we saw right at the very beginning of the video, after I went through his details and we jumped straight into turn 1, immediate slot 1 super and he doesn't dodge, and then you die. So certainly interesting. I mean, free-to-play units, I feel like most of the time, are good if they're supports. They need a little bit of something in their kit to help protect themselves. But making a farmable free-to-play unit a slot 1 unit that relies on dodge, I think is very tricky, because they obviously don't want to make the unit super crazy broken good, because then people have less incentive to summon for certain units because they've got a free-to-play option that's really, really good. But it just seems like he definitely isn't on the level. So, I don't know. We'll see how we get on in this next turn. But we can show the active skill and then see what he's looking like here. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. The trio getting their attacks off. Of course, Goku not going to die because we are not using tech enemies. So we should be fine to not kill him here. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. I guess, to be fair, Trunks is going to be a bit more of a liability in the final stage because it's a physical boss. But I guess we should be all good here. God Goku's very unlikely. I mean, it's almost impossible, I think, for God Goku to actually kill us on this turn, because Gogeta still has his guard, Trunks has all of her damage reduction and guard, so we should be fine. But yeah, we'll see what Trunks is going to look like on the active skill turn. Also, like, I know it's supposed to be like a comic relief, like it's a stupid like gag joke moment in the movie, but his active skill is certainly very weird. Like, obviously it's him like making fun of Broly, but definitely a bit of a weird one. But anyway, so we use the active skill, we get the target ability, we give Hybrid Saiyan allies a key buff, which obviously will be good for the new Gohan, good for the Go Bros here for this active skill turn. And now we have 90% chance to dodge. So he immediately takes a hit. Okay, dodge the super, so at least there's that. And then 5.1 million. I don't know. I don't think he's very good. I am definitely very disappointed. When I saw his kit and just gave it a quick read over, I was like, okay, yeah, he seems pretty decent. Bear in mind as well, that attack buff he gets from dodging is only for the next attack, which is why his attack stat then went down to 2 million as well. So honestly, I really don't feel like this guy is all that. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I mean, he is a free-to-play unit at the end of the day, so we have to have a different level of expectation. But for a unit that is designed to go in slot 1 and is supposed to dodge attacks because his defense is low, he's just, I don't think, particularly good. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section of this free-to-play Trunks. Bear in mind, he doesn't have an easy A yet. So, talking about comparing him to Videl, Like, she obviously just got her easy A. If he gets an easy A, he could be pretty good afterwards. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. So, that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been The Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.